Hello, everybody. Today, I want to introduce you to Caroline Scull, the creative director at Effective Design Studio based in Seattle area. Caroline is known for delivering intelligent branding and design solutions to the marketplace and striving to deliver authentic and unique experiences for every project they create. So, Caroline, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So Caroline, fun fact, I think we both realize that we live on farms and love to raise animals in the off time. Tell me a little bit about your life on the farm.
Oh, love it. Our farm is called Anthology Ranch, and we raise Southdown sheep, Nigerian dwarf goats, poultry, and have a CSA too. So lots of fun. Keeps us busy.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's fun I often get teased because on the one hand, working on super kind of high-end cutting edge technology. And then on the other side of my life is this back to the basics, living on a farm, doing lots of farm work, raising animals. So it's fun to find a kindred spirit.
I think it's the perfect blend, honestly. I mean, how creative can you get when you're out weeding the greenhouse and you come up with that brilliant idea?
Yeah, exactly.
Jump to the studio and get it in force. So
that's great. Well, Caroline, we've worked together over the past years on a number of projects, San Francisco and the Hub in Denver and 1700 Broadway. I'm super interested to know how you got interested in XR and these types of technologies that could help in your work of marketing, helping sell real estate.
Well, effective design is actually founded on the premise of results-driven solutions for design. And working in real estate, we have always, not just in real estate, but all of our work, we try to take every opportunity to innovate on these projects. And as technologies rolled out and the XR solutions, it's been incredibly helpful in delivering building experiences across digital platforms all around the world. So it's been super, it provides an opportunity for us to give immersive experiences to people who can't get here or aren't here or thinking of relocating, those sorts of things.
And so in doing so, Caroline, have you started to coalesce or do you have ideas about which types of immersive assets tend to be the most effective? And does it differ between, say, a commercial office space and a luxury residential space or a hospitality space, or can you draw some common themes or conclusions?
The solutions that we choose are based on the audience. So if the audience is local, and we often have multi-audiences, people relocating versus people who are here in whichever city we're working. So we may have a immersive 360 experience in a marketing center, like we say, in the middle of Denver, because we have a marketplace there that we know will come and see this. But we also need to take that technology and put it in a platform that we can reach further out. And that's where a lot of the XR work is so great, because you can place it on a number of different platforms. Which one works the best? It depends on what we're doing, but you know, we do love the fly-throughs that you create for us, because it's a more one-on-one experience with that space. And ultimately what we want to do is convey what that space experience is, how it's going to work for whether residential or commercial, and that they can see themselves being in that space.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you do a lot of work with Beacon Capital. How did that relationship begin? And tell us more about the cutting edge work you're doing with Beacon.
We have been working with Beacon Capital for probably close to 20 years now. But it was one of those things that just sort of happens organically. A friend of ours client of ours introduced us to them, and we started to work together, and then the work has just continued. We love them. We love their vision and the marketing that we can do to promote the portfolio. But it just happens, most of our work is on referral, so it just sort of happens organically, and we keep striving to deliver the best work, and, there we are.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's great. So I know ROI can be a tricky thing to really nail down, because it's so hard to have to compare apples to apples, because you either chose to use XR cutting edge technologies or you didn't, and it's difficult to run things in parallel. But do you have any anecdotal stories or instances where you can tie back to an ROI to the projects in which you've leveraged XR?
What we know is that the way we judge success is on the results that we're getting. And so what we see, we're looking for commercial office or is an uptick in tours and leases. Or there was a situation where we had a marketing center on the waterfront in downtown, and they came into the marketing center, saw big CGI, big images that were, created to really imagine what that space is going to look like. And the building was fully leased to a single tenant like a few weeks later. So that was a big success story for us and for Beacon, really. And we're so client focused. What we really want is the results for that company to get where they want to go, meet those goals. And XR really helps us get there on many occasions, although it might not be noted specifically. They didn't say, I went and saw the app and I was just blown away and I leased the building. I wish those situations where we got that feedback directly happened. But what we do know is that leases are increasing. People, buildings get full. Workforce is thriving. These are the things that we're looking for. And I'm sure the work has a big effect on ultimately making that happen.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great story. So the question I think on a lot of people's minds right now, Caroline, is how does COVID-19, how will it affect our workplaces and even our experiences with leasing or finding properties, be that residential or any sort of real estate related activities? Do you have thoughts or opinions on the way that you see things developing and evolving in the future?
Well, although I think it's too soon to really know for sure, design firms all around the world are considering how the workspace might look now. I love that the world's looking at design firms to really help solve this problem. It's a socio-emotional problem too. Workers and workforces are concerned about how it's going to feel to be in those spaces now that we've had this experience. We've seen lots of different designs and are sharing them actively on our LinkedIn page about how design theory is changing for buildings, the way space plans are done and ventilation systems and just the whole experience. And I think that from a building standpoint, we will see changes, and I think change is good. I really do. I think that we maybe need to rethink some things and make it better. It probably, in the end, will be a better solution all around. Then plugging in, technology is a huge part of it again, because I believe that we will see more remote working workforce, not, everyone like we're seeing now, but staggered shifts or different things to reduce density. And those ideas are make them successful through a technology base. And so that again is a way to really take this innovation that we have in this world, in Seattle and all around the country. Is just so much that can be done to help make companies thrive again. And they will.
That's great. Yeah. I think that is interesting to think about. It seems like we've kind of spanned this gamut from private offices to more of an open communal workplace, and wondering if we'll shift back towards more semi-enclosed or enclosed offices so that it adds some barrier or protection for people. Have you seen, and I know it is super, super early, but are you hearing those conversations, or do you feel like that is a trend that's developing?
Well, I have seen, 6-foot office theories where, benching systems are just done in different ways. Like I say, I agree. It's too early to know how it'll all play out until the workforce is back. And really, companies, I think, need to listen to their workforce and strategize together and come up with a successful plan to move forward. Ultimately, the design will come out of those conversations. It's going to be an organic process. And although we're using science mostly to inform these designs right now, how people feel in the space, how they work, how effective they are, what can make them better. It's a time for companies to be open-minded and to consider how we move forward. And through that, I think some wonderful things will happen.
Just an anecdote. We hired a new creative lead that's based in Las Vegas right before this work from home mandate was issued. And so our new employee needed to find and locate her housing here without being able to travel here. And so it was a great opportunity for us to learn from her experience firsthand. She had to base all of her decisions on virtual tours and getting anecdotes of a wide variety of types and sophistication of virtual tours. But that did make a big impact on her decision in ability to identify the property that felt the best for her, was based on kind of the technology and the access to more spatial and immersive experiences, how she could really evaluate, is this going to be a good fit for me? Do I understand spatially what this thing is looking like? Can I get an idea of the actual scale of this space? Because sometimes, in pictures, as we've all bought and sold real estate, you tend to use low camera angles and make the space look as big as possible. So having a tool where you can really validate, say with a mobile device or a phone, that you can actually walk through and see, oh my gosh, I got across that room in 4 steps. It looked like it would take me 12 steps in the picture. So you kind of get a one-to-one experience. I can see those becoming more and more critical as we move forward, as potentially more and more of these decisions will be made based on virtual or immersive experiences.
And not that we didn't rely on them before, but you're right. Moving forward, they are even more valuable. And kudos to your own app that allows us to be in physical space with the app when we're not even in the room. More video content, certainly XR, all of those are kinds of content that we're pushing across all digital platforms right now. It allows everyone to give as much experience as possible. Residential might be easier to lease. Office may be a little bit more difficult, but all we care about is being relevant, shortlisting, and when the buildings open again and we can give tours, they've already had some ideas about what they love about this opportunity. And that I agree. I completely agree. We have to use what we can, and they're great tools, and they're so relevant in this moment.
Well, Caroline, thank you so much for your time today. It's great talking to you. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you.
And
You too.
we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Bye for now.